Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Fun Zone. I'm Michael.
And I'm Violet. Today we have a special episode about learning English through music.
That's right. We're going to talk about Taylor Swift's new song, Opalite, and break down the vocabulary, metaphors, and grammar that can help you improve your English.
This should be fun. So, Michael, should we start with some vocabulary?
Good idea. Let's begin with the word opalite itself. Violet, do you know what opalite is?
Yes, opalite is a type of stone. It's translucent, which means light can pass through it.
Mm-hmm.
It has a milky, glowing appearance with different colors.
Exactly. In the song, Taylor uses opalite as a metaphor for hope and brighter times. She contrasts it with onyx, which is a black stone. So we have dark versus light imagery.
That's a great point about metaphors. Let's talk about another interesting phrase, eating out of the trash. What does that mean?
Well, literally, it would mean taking food from a garbage can.
Okay.
But metaphorically, it means going back to something that's bad for you. In this case, thinking about past relationships that didn't work out.
Right. It's quite a strong image. When we use eating out of the trash this way, we're creating a comparison. We're saying that returning to a bad relationship is like eating spoiled food.
Good explanation. Now let's look at some grammar. Notice how Taylor says, I had a bad habit of missing lovers past. What's the tense of had here?
That's the past simple tense, right? She's talking about something that happened before, something she used to do.
Correct. And then she says, my brother used to call it. What's the grammar structure there?
Oh, that's used to for past habits. We use used to plus the base verb to talk about things we did regularly in the past but don't do anymore.
Perfect. So the structure is subject plus used to plus base verb. For example, I used to play piano, or she used to live in Tokyo.
Very useful structure for learners. Now, what about this line? It's never gonna last. What's the grammar there?
Gonna is informal speech for going to, so the full form would be it's never going to last.
Right, going to.
This is future tense, specifically for predictions. We use be going to talk about what we think will happen.
And never is a negative adverb, so the whole phrase means something won't continue or survive.
Exactly. Let's talk about another metaphor. I thought my house was haunted. I used to live with ghosts. What do you think ghosts represents here?
Well, ghosts aren't real. They're spirits of the past. So I think living with ghosts means being stuck in the past, maybe thinking too much about old memories or old relationships.
Great interpretation. This is called a metaphor, comparing two things without using like or as. She doesn't say my memories are like ghosts. She just calls them ghosts directly.
Right. Now, there's an interesting saying from the song, when you know, you know. Have you heard this before, Michael?
Oh yes, it's a common English expression. People say this about finding true love. It means that when you meet the right person, you'll know immediately without any doubt.
But Taylor adds, and when you don't, which is the opposite. What's the grammar pattern here?
This is a conditional pattern, but very shortened. The full form would be when you know that someone is right, you know it. And when you don't know that someone is right, you don't know it.
It's quite poetic. English speakers often drop repeated words to make phrases shorter and more impactful.
Absolutely. Now let's look at this phrase, dancing through the lightning strikes. What kind of grammar is dancing through?
Dancing is a present participle. It's a verb with ing. And through is a preposition, showing movement from one side to another.
Right, so dancing through lightning strikes creates an image of moving through danger while still dancing. The metaphor suggests continuing to live joyfully even during difficult times.
That's beautiful. What about sleepless in the onyx night? What's the grammar of sleepless?
Sleepless is an adjective formed by adding the suffix less to the noun sleep.
Less.
The suffix less means without, so sleepless means without sleep.
Oh, so we can use this pattern with other words too.
Yes. For example, hopeless, helpless, careless, endless. They all mean without hope, without help, without care, and without end.
Very useful. Now, there's a phrase I love, make your own sunshine. What does that mean?
This is another metaphor. Sunshine represents happiness and positivity, so making your own sunshine means creating your own happiness instead of depending on others or waiting for good things to happen.
What's the grammar structure there?
It's make plus possessive adjective plus own plus noun. We use your own to emphasize that something belongs to you personally. For example, my own car, her own decision, their own problems.
Got it. Let's talk about another interesting line. You were in it for real. She was in her phone.
Good one. In it for real means truly committed or genuinely invested in something. The contrast with in her phone suggests one person was emotionally present while the other was distracted by the device.
What's the grammar of was in her phone?
It uses the past continuous, was or were plus verb ing. Oh wait, actually, this one is just was in, the simple past of be. The phrase in her phone means focused on or absorbed by her phone.
Right. It's a modern expression we use all the time now. He's always in his phone, or stop being in your phone.
Exactly. Now, here's an interesting one. You were just a pose. What does pose mean here?
Well, pose can be a noun, meaning a position for a photograph, or it can mean something fake or for show. So you were just a pose suggests the person wasn't real or genuine, maybe just there for appearances.
Perfect. Now, let's look at this question. Don't we try to love love? What's interesting about the grammar here?
There are two loves. The first is a verb, and the second is a noun. It's asking, don't we try to love the concept of love itself?
Right. And notice the question form, don't we? This is a negative question tag that expects agreement. It's like saying, we all do this, right?
Oh, and then there's, we give it all we got. Should it be all we've got grammatically?
Technically, yes. The standard form is all we've got or all we have. But in casual speech and song lyrics, people often drop the have and just say all we got. It's informal but very common.
Good to know. What about you finally left the table? That seems like a metaphor too.
Definitely. Leaving the table is a metaphor for ending a relationship or situation. If you're at the table, you're participating. When you leave, you're done with it.
And finally suggests it took a long time or was difficult to do.
Exactly. Finally is an adverb that means at last or after a long time. It shows that something happened after waiting or trying.
There's also this line, you're starving until you're not. What does that mean?
This is a clever metaphor about relationships. Starving means extremely hungry, but here it represents lacking emotional fulfillment. The phrase suggests you feel empty until suddenly you don't, perhaps because you've left a bad situation or found something better.
What about the grammar? It uses until or till.
Yes, till is a shortened form of until. We use it to show something continues up to a specific point. I waited until midnight, or she cried until she fell asleep.
Now, let's talk about the bridge. There's a phrase, storm inside a teacup. Is that a common expression?
Almost. The traditional expression is storm in a teacup or tempest in a teacup.
Right, in a teacup.
It means making a big problem out of something small or unimportant.
So Taylor's saying the problems aren't as big as they seem.
Right, but then she adds, but shelter here with me, meaning even if the problem is small, it's okay to seek comfort and support.
That's kind. What's a speed bump in the song?
Literally, a speed bump is a raised part of the road that makes cars slow down. Metaphorically, it means a small obstacle or temporary problem that slows you down but doesn't stop you completely.
And it's described as temporary, which means...
Temporary is an adjective meaning not permanent, lasting only for a short time. The opposite is permanent or lasting.
There's also this beautiful line, failure brings you freedom. Can you explain that?
Sure. It's a philosophical idea. When something fails or ends, it can actually free you to try new things or find better opportunities. The verb brings shows that failure is the cause and freedom is the result.
What about don't you sweat it? That's interesting in formal English.
Oh yes, don't sweat it is an informal idiom meaning don't worry about it or don't stress. To sweat something means to worry about it. We might also say no sweat to mean no problem.
So if someone says, don't sweat it, baby, they're telling you to relax and not worry?
Exactly. Baby here is a term of endearment, a friendly or loving way to address someone. It doesn't literally mean a baby child.
Right. Now, Michael, we've covered a lot. Should we summarize the main grammar points? You know, Michael, another great thing about learning with songs is practicing pronunciation. The way words flow together in music is very natural.
Good idea. So we learned about used to for past habits, going to for future predictions, and present participles like dancing.
That's a fantastic point, Violet. Let's dive into that. For instance, in the line, eating out of the trash, notice how the words out of blend together. Native speakers often say outa instead of pronouncing the T in out and the O in of separately. It's called linking.
We also learned about the suffix less to mean without, like sleepless and hopeless.
And we covered make your own as a structure for emphasis, and until or till for showing time limits.
Plus lots of informal expressions like gonna, all we got, and don't sweat it.
Right, and we discussed the difference between literal and metaphorical meaning, how ghosts, sunshine, lightning, and table all have deeper meanings in the song.
This is why learning English through songs is so helpful. You get real, natural language that people actually use.
Absolutely. Songs use metaphors, idioms, and informal grammar that you'll hear in everyday conversation.
So listeners, we recommend listening to the song several times. First, just enjoy the music. Then listen again and try to catch the vocabulary we discussed today.
And remember, it's okay if you don't understand everything at first. Even native speakers sometimes need to think about metaphors and poetic language.
Great point. Learning a language is a journey, just like the journey described in this song, from darkness to light, from struggle to hope.
Beautiful connection, Violet. So everyone, keep practicing, keep listening, and don't forget, make your own sunshine.
Ha, perfect way to end. Thanks for listening to English Fun Zone.
See you next time.